I'll tell you what, one of my favorite things about working in a factory in the summer is feeling the temperature inside the building and then walking outside and the shit doesn't change, bro. It's the same temperature outside and inside in there. Proportionality in terms of gains, in terms of strength, and proportions in terms of aesthetics, such as bodybuilding and whatnot. I don't usually talk about this, and I don't usually think about it very much either, because it's one of those things that, like, it's one of those topics that gets people way riled up. And I was actually working myself up, thinking about it, waiting to get out here on my lunch break and talk about it, but not specifically because of these topics, right? So there's this guy named Ian Barzegel on Instagram and YouTube. Pretty popular, like, heavyweight calisthenics guy. And I think he knows what he's talking about for the most part. Has he said something that's wrong before? Probably. Has he said something that's right before? Most definitely. But that's literally like anybody on the planet, okay? Talking about literally anything, all right? People are going to be right about some things. People are going to be wrong about some things. But why am I speaking about this specifically? Well, it's because I saw this reel on Instagram the other night. It's posted by this, like, some girl from, like, who knows where, some random Eastern Bloc country in Europe, okay? And it's a soundbite of a voice memo that this Ian Barzegel guy apparently sent to, like, a client that he's got, or, just somebody who was asking a question, right? So the whole situation was dumb, in my opinion, because this girl's trying to say that he's wrong about what he's talking about in the soundbite, and that may or may not be true. I don't know. But from listening to the part of the voice memo that she put in the reel, I commented and said, I don't think you're understanding what he's talking about in the voice memo. Okay? I'm just going off of the information that was provided to me by this reel, right? I don't have the full context of the thing, okay? So she replies back to me, and we get in a little bit of a back and forth. No harsh words were said, but she's trying to, like, get on my dick about being an Ian Barzegel fan and defending him. And of course I'm defending him because I'm a fan of his, and, like, he's never wrong, and yada yada yada, whatever the fuck, okay? I'm just saying, like, no, like, in the soundbite, he was talking about weighted chin-ups having an effect on your curls, like barbell curls, dumbbell curls, whatever. He's saying that if you're doing really heavy weighted chin-ups, that your curls are going to increase. I don't think anybody's going to argue with that point. Okay, at least I hope not. So in the voice memo, in the reel, okay, he says, if you're doing really heavy weighted chin-ups, you can expect your curl to get about 5 kilograms better. And that's exactly what he says, okay? He didn't say 5 kilograms better than your weighted chin-up. That doesn't make any sense. How could your curl, a more isolation movement, be stronger than your weighted chin-up? It doesn't make any sense, okay? And he goes on to say, I see no problem with this, though, because everything seems to be proportional. Talking about whoever's curls it was to their weighted chin-ups. Okay? But this chick who posted this reel is trying to say that this Ian Barzigel guy is telling her that the curls are supposed to be 5 kilograms better than the weight you're doing for weighted pull-ups. No, he's not. He's literally not saying that. So I commented, I said, I don't think you understand what he's talking about in the voice memo. And then she responds to me and goes, typical Ian Barzigel fan. Brother! Typical Ian Barzigel fan. He's saying, in the context of the whole voice memo, that your curls are supposed to be 5 kilograms better than the weight you're pulling on weighted chin-ups. And then she says, but I removed 70% of the voice memo for the reel. So I have context and information that you don't. What? What? How am I supposed to know the context of what's being said when you remove 70% of the original information and then clip it in such a way where it benefits your argument? Okay? I know people do this, but then to tell me that when I'm giving you pushback on an idea does not give you any more credibility to what you're saying. You just literally admitted that you're basically the legacy media. Okay, what are you, like Fox News and fucking CNN? Taking like 10 seconds out of a minute-long voice memo? And then basing your whole argument off of that and saying he doesn't know what he's talking about? What? What? Now, if he did say that your curls are supposed to be 5 kilograms better than the weight you're using for weighted chin-ups, then yeah, I would disagree with that. That doesn't make much sense. But I'm just going off the information that was given to me in the reel, man. So no wonder you think you're right and you think I'm wrong when you remove 70% of the original information and the context. I still don't know what the context is. Oh, and on top of that, she said that this voice memo wasn't even sent to her. It was sent to a friend of hers. What the fuck is going on? Like, In my opinion, he's right. Okay? It doesn't make any sense. Why are you arguing with me? You literally just told me that you removed 70% of the information, provided zero context, and then you're trying to call me an Ian Barzigel stan when I give you pushback on your ideas. Bro, what? It doesn't make any fucking sense, dude. And on top of that, like the whole proportions thing, in terms of aesthetic strength, you know, like, if you're doing weighted chin-ups, okay, you should have proportionally larger biceps. Proportionally. Proportionally does not mean equally. Of course, your biceps are not going to be equally as strong as your lats are in the movement. They will be proportional, however. It's just like, and people eat this shit up. And in terms of aesthetics, getting away from strength, in terms of aesthetics, yeah, your biceps are going to be bigger if you're doing weighted chin-ups, because weighted chin-ups favor biceps more than regular pull-ups do. Okay? Because you're basically curling the bar, right? Pull-ups and chin-ups work the same muscles, but they work the same muscles in different amounts. So while a regular pull-up, let's say conventional grip here, let's say it's like 60% back, 20% biceps, and 20% forearms for you to hang on to the bar. Okay? In a weighted chin-up, it's going to be more like 50% back, 30% biceps, and still around about the same for your forearms. I mean, I don't know what people are misunderstanding about that, but then they have the audacity to tell Ian Barzigel wrong. Dude, this guy could be wrong on like a million things and still be right on more things than most people. I thoroughly believe that. It's just the whole thing was fucking dumb. Like, you're literally just trying to get clout for hating on Ian Barzigel. Like, what are you doing? He's right. Going off of literally only what I heard in the reel, which is the only shit provided to me, without any other context, listening to it. Bro, I don't fucking know. While we're on the topic of biceps, though, holy shit, are my biceps cooked from the workout from yesterday. Like, if you're looking for a great biceps exercise, just do some negative pelican curls, like on a bar or on some rings. You don't even have to do like the full rep, you know? Just the negative eccentric. Holy shit. I was going to work out today, but I didn't because I'm going to need like a few days off from that. And that was like the only biceps specific exercise that me and my buddy did yesterday. If you haven't seen the video, check it out. But dude, it was a good workout, man. It was a really good fucking workout. And like, I can feel my tendons just need the rest, you know? So fucking good.